At 72 years old, Tom Cruise gives off more energy than most 25-year-olds. Every room he walks into is instantly electrified. Watching his interviews and appearances, I noticed that he follows a specific energy, and you can learn it too. Today, we're going to break down Tom Cruise's 5 secret techniques so you too can become that person everyone notices before you even say a word. Tom Cruise has discovered the rarest secret of charisma: how to be intensely passionate without ever seeming pushy or desperate. This ability to be deeply engaged while still remaining light and approachable. Watch him in the promotional interviews for Mission Impossible, especially the one from 2018 for Fallout. Even after answering similar questions multiple times, he responds with a freshness that feels genuine. This isn't acting. He connects to the pure emotion behind his projects rather than just the words he's repeating.
Kicking ass and getting your ass kicked is hard. Both ways. All of us, none of us walked away from that scene going, we were all limping, trust me. It was, and none of us would admit it, by the way. Not one of us would ever admit it.
You can also see this in his recent interviews at the 2025 Cannes Film Festival, where he responds in a way that's 100% authentic and consistent.
You know, I wanted to travel the world and meet people from other countries and cultures and fly jets and airplanes and parachutes and jump off buildings and do
what every
all that.
4-year-old wants to do.
I know, what every 4-year-old, but I was doing that even earlier. But I really wanted to do that, and I remember.
Here's what sets Cruise apart. He turns every interaction into a mini emotional adventure. When he talks about a Mission Impossible stunt, he doesn't just describe it. He makes you live the experience. His whole body becomes a storytelling instrument. I've analyzed his gestures in his interviews. His hands move through the air in a way that creates energetic bubbles around him. This technique literally extends his charismatic aura into the physical space. You can see this energy in his repeated collaborations. The actors who work with him multiple times always seem excited to do it again. Immediate technique. The 30-second emotional recharge. Before your next important interaction, connect with what truly excites you about the situation. Not what you have to say, but what makes you curious or enthusiastic. Let that emotion fill your body for 30 seconds. Only then, start the conversation. You'll see how this genuine energy instantly transforms the dynamic. Tom Cruise's secret weapon isn't his smile, it's his gaze. A gaze so intense that it literally creates an electric connection with the person he's talking to. I dissected this phenomenon frame by frame in his interviews. Cruise masters what psychologists call the triangular gaze. He alternates between your 2 eyes and your mouth in a precise rhythm of 3, 2, 3 seconds. This technique creates instant intimacy without discomfort. But above all, he doesn't look through you. He looks into you. During his interview with David Letterman on The Late Show in June 2005, watch his eyes. Even in difficult moments, his gaze stays connected. Not evasive, not aggressive, just present, with a kind intensity. This authenticity and vulnerability turned a potentially disastrous moment into a moment of human connection.
On oxygen, I had to descend because I didn't have enough oxygen. So I had a passenger in the back, so we figured out, you know, me and the co-pilot, that if we turned the oxygen off in the back guy, that we could make it at this altitude. So we, you know, it wasn't dangerous or anything, you know.
No, what happened when you turned his oxygen off?
He was very quiet. He fell asleep. He fell asleep. He slept the whole way.
Well. But,
you know, he's the kind of guy you wanted to have him sleep the whole way. You know, it's like
his technique that I've noticed in his interviews, he seems to create a positive connection with the person he's talking to. This mental approach completely changes the energy in his gaze. What you notice in his interactions with his on-screen partners is that they all seem to develop an admiration for his professionalism and energy. And here's a fascinating detail you can spot in his interviews. He seems to synchronize his blinking with that of the person he's talking to. This microsynchronization creates a subconscious harmony that strengthens the connection. Tom Cruise transmits his energy to others without draining them. The more energy he gives, the more he generates, and the more others receive. Watch these interactions in the behind-the-scenes documentaries of the Mission Impossible movie. The crew, even when tired after long hours, seem to regain their motivation when Cruise shows up. This isn't traditional leadership, it's pure energy transmission. From what we can see, Cruise treats every day on set as if he's living out a childhood dream come true. This perspective turns effort into play, and fatigue into adrenaline. He keeps this mindset even after 40 years in the business. Christopher McQuarrie, director of Mission Impossible, Fallout, explained it. Tom has this unique ability to turn every challenge into an exciting adventure. When he runs to latch onto a flying plane, he's not suffering, he's celebrating.
You introduced the film yesterday with a huge testament to Tom Cruise's his dedication to his stunts and to his craft. Does he ever cease to impress you with what he can do and what he's prepared to do?
Never. I'm constantly amazed, and and the fact that I've been working with him for as long as I have, you're accustomed to seeing people get a little older and get a little slower, and I've only watched him gain in speed. Yeah, he gets faster and he gets stronger and he works harder.
This energy is transmitted through 3 channels that I've identified. His breathing, always deep and rhythmic, which oxygenates his brain and calms his nervous system. His gestures, expansive yet controlled, fill the space in a positive way. His voice, modulated with variations that create peaks of attention. But here's the crucial point. Cruise understands energetic balance. He knows when to intensify and when to ease off. This mastery of energetic rhythm prevents his audience from getting exhausted. A concrete strategy, managing energy in waves. Identify your natural sources of positive energy, music, memories, activities that excite you. Before your important interactions, charge up your energy with these sources. During the conversation, alternate between moments of intensity when you talk about your passions and moments of calm when you listen. This rhythmic variation keeps people engaged without wearing them out. This is what makes Tom Cruise unique. In a world of carefully crafted images, he dares to be authentically himself, even when it's risky. This unfiltered authenticity creates a magnetic charisma because it's become so rare. Think back to that famous moment on Oprah Winfrey in May 2005. Everyone expected him to apologize or explain himself. Instead, he fully owned his emotion. This radical authenticity, even when uncomfortable, has created more connections than years of politically correct answers. James Corden pointed it out. With Tom, you never feel like he's playing a part. Even in promotional interviews, you can tell it's really him. This raw truth is magnetic. Cruise has mastered the art of strategic vulnerability. He shares his true emotions, but in a way that connects rather than worries people. When he talks about his failures or fears, he does it with an energy that inspires rather than brings you down. What stands out about his approach is that he clearly refuses to separate his public persona from his private self. This consistency we see eliminates the stress of acting a part and allows him to be naturally charismatic. Henry Cavill confirmed it after Mission Impossible. Tom never switches off. He is the same intense and passionate person whether the cameras are rolling or not. This constant authenticity creates an incredible aura of confidence.
So how was your encounter with Tom Cruise, and how much did you discuss that bit of a chess play between the two characters?
Well, it was a daily discussion because each scene is very individual between Ethan and August. And when it came to discussing stuff, it was very important that we hit the right tones and hit the right notes every day. And we would sometimes adjust dialogue in a scene and move it around so it just found its place and lay better. And Tom is really, really good at that. And him and Chris were constantly finding these moments where they go, hold on a second. If we move the beginning of the scene to the end of the scene, then it's going to flow a lot more cleanly and actually mean a lot more for later stuff in the story. And so everything was a discussion each day.
And here is his psychological secret. He turned his flaws into strengths. His intensity, which some people find excessive, he fully owns it. This self-acceptance radiates and gives others permission to be authentic too. Tom Cruise's final secret. He doesn't just settle for being charismatic, he amplifies the charisma of others. This rare ability creates a virtuous circle where everyone feels more interesting in his presence. Watch his interviews with nervous journalists. Instead of dominating the conversation, Cruise finds a way to make his conversation partner shine. This charismatic generosity makes him irresistible because it flatters the ego in an authentic way. His strategy. He actively looks for what is exciting about the other person. This curiosity turns every encounter into a mutual discovery. Emily Blunt revealed this after Edge of Tomorrow. Tom has this gift of making you feel like you are the most fascinating person he has ever met. And the craziest part is, he really means it. The real secret to Tom Cruise's charisma isn't his energy, it's his ability to stay authentically connected to his inner joy despite all the outside pressures. This unshakable connection to his own source of positive energy creates a natural magnetism. Unlike others who manage their image, Cruise cultivates his essence. This fundamental difference explains why his charisma doesn't fade with age, but actually intensifies.